Hi, kids. This morning we are going to read the book called The Story of Easter. So look for the book where I get kind of lost here, but look for the book with the little girl. Her name's Alice and Jesus, and this is the book that we're going to read today. So remember what we talked about in with the Doors backpack book and how you open the first pages? So take your book and then open the book up and you'll see a page where it says this belongs to me. So just turn the page, and this again is like your introductory page. Okay, so turn the page and we'll start reading about the story of Easter. A little girl named Alice was so happy it was spring, and she loved to see the flowers and hear the robins sing. Alice sat down in her garden underneath some budding trees. Her favorite Bible story book was propped up on her knees. Turn the page. She chose to read of Easter, and the reason I'm reading this book is because Easter's not too far away, is it? Which was just 5 days away. And as she read, the airmail bird brought this note her way. Reading is the magic key to take you where you want to be. The Bible story book she read became a giant screen. She walked on through to Bibleland and came across this scene. So see, in this book, on this page here, you can see Alice walking through her storybook, can't you? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to walk through the pages of this storybook. Okay, so turn the page. This early Sunday morning, just as dawn was breaking, 3 women walked up to a tomb. Their hearts were sorely aching. Their beloved teacher Jesus, who was wonderful to know, was killed by those who feared him just 2 short days ago. Turn the page. They saw the stone that sealed his tomb had been rolled away. Inside, the tomb was empty. The women feared to say. One woman said, one woman, Mary Magdalene, ran off to tell 2 others, John and Peter, Jesus's friends, whom he treated as dear brothers. Turn the page. All 3 ran back to the tomb. Peter, then John too, found that the tomb was empty. What Mary said was true. Although the tomb was empty, John and Peter found clothes which had wrapped Jesus lying on the ground. Turn the page. Feeling scared and puzzled, John and Peter left the tomb. Mary stood outside and wept. Her heart was filled with gloom. She looked inside the half-lit tomb and saw 2 angels near. They asked, "Why are you weeping?" She replied, "My Lord's not here." Turn the page. A man who stood behind her asked why she wept still more. Then he gently asked Mary whom she was looking for. Mary didn't see the man. The light was very dim. She thought he was a gardener, and so she said to him, "Turn the page. If you know where they've taken him, please, please do let me know. Wherever they have taken him, that's where I want to go." The man just answered, "Mary." All at once she knew his voice. Mary knew the man was Jesus, and she felt her heart rejoice. Turn the page. Mary cried out, "Master," and quickly turned around. Lovingly she kissed his feet as she knelt upon the ground. Jesus said to Mary that she should go and tell all his loving friends and followers that he was alive and well. Turn the page. I'm going to my God, my Father, who is your God and Father too. And even though I'll be with him, I'll always be with you. Mary ran and told his friends that Jesus was not dead, but they were much too doubtful to believe anything she said. Turn the page. His followers were frightened, and so that very night they secretly met inside a room and locked the door real tight. They feared the foes of Jesus and felt they had to hide. Then suddenly one noticed Jesus standing by his side. Turn the page. His friends thought Jesus was a ghost. He sensed their frightened move. And then to prove he was alive, Jesus asked for food. When they saw Jesus eating, they rejoiced, for then they knew that he was truly risen. What Mary said was true. Turn the page. Jesus said that soon he'd send the Holy Spirit to them to help them share the happy news that Jesus lives again. He said they all should preach his teachings every day, and they should baptize everyone who follows in his way. Turn the page. The time had come for Alice to leave that Bible scene. She'd come back home by walking through her very special screen. She took her book inside and thought, there are so many reasons why Easter's such a holy time, the happiest of seasons. Turn the page. On Easter morning, Jesus rose. He was no longer dead. And everything that happened is just the way he'd said. His church was born on Easter when he told his friends to share the good news of his teachings with people everywhere. Turn the page. Then Alice thought, I'm glad to be a friend of Jesus too. I'll spread his word and feel him near each day my whole life through. And you know, kids, there is nothing more wonderful than feeling the love of Jesus in your heart. And you know that already. And I'm so glad you do. I love you bunches.